Hey everyone, Brendan Sander here. How are you? Thanks so much for joining me and welcome to another episode of New Music Finds. This is where I collect together all the different things that I've picked up over the past week, present it to you guys, give you a little bit of background on it. I didn't get that much this past week. I only got three things, but all three things are things that I've really enjoyed a lot. I want to share them with you, tell you about them, maybe turn you on to something new or remind you about something you have in your catalog that you want to go pull out. Either way, hopefully you'll enjoy this episode. We're going to get into it here in just a bit. But before we start, if you're new to my channel and haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do. Also leave a comment, hit like. All those things do help support my channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by turning on notifications, you'll never miss an episode and stay up to date on cool things like this, where I'm talking about the new music finds that I just got over the past week. And one of these in particular was one that I found while putting together the What Just Dropped series, where I tell you about the new releases and things that are coming out. And this one, I don't know how it ran under the radar for me. I'm talking about Gene Loves Jezebel, and this is called Glad to Be Alive, live in Nottingham, 1986. So it's an archival live recording, but it is put out by Iconoclassics Records, which is a great label that's been putting out a lot of cool things like this, these archival lost studio albums and things. Now we're getting this live recording, which has kind of a really interesting history to it because it was actually at the time only an 8-song live album that was added to the Discover album, which I think was their third album at the time, as a promotion in order to help sales and boost and get that album up in the UK charts. Didn't come out here in the US, but this has the full live 17-song show. So a bunch of unreleased tracks there, 9, I guess, total tracks you would have that are unreleased. And so all 17, the full complete show, 1 hour of a show is on this thing, and it sounds really good. The inside, there's credits. The members talk about the album and the sound and why they did it and the chaos and things that were going on. And they talk about how the show itself was a little out of kilter, a little out of balance, but that's exactly how the band was feeling at the time. All I know is it sounds great. It sounds like the band. It really just pulled me in immediate. And so if you're a fan of Gene Loves Jezebel, I highly recommend checking out this live album. Like I said, I had no idea this was coming out. There's so few and little things regarding Gene Loves Jezebel out there that in order to get this from 86, covering their classic era of the band, that was just an absolute blessing, I guess, treat, if you will, for me. And it was kind of fun because somebody else saw my thumbnail for the What Just Dropped series, and this album was one of the ones that was sitting like that in the corner. And they said that while there's no title on this, so this was funny. The Gene Loves Jezebel name is on the inside of this, and on the outside of it is Glad to Be Alive, the title of this. In fact, at the time it was for an LP, so I don't know if it was a gatefold or not, but you would have seen the name because it would have been like that. Well, when it's hidden here on the CD and it's not on the backside, you don't know, right? Okay, but anyways, the writing is so distinct as a Gene Loves Jezebel thing because their logo was handwritten like that all the time too, that the person recognized this as a Gene Loves Jezebel release just from that, which was the whole reason that I put it up on the thumbnail, because I thought to myself, I said, any respectable Gene Loves Jezebel fan will know this just from that writing, because that's what caught my eye when I clicked on it to see what it was. So I'm glad to know that there were other people out there that were able to do the same. And if you did miss this, this is totally worth checking out. All right, so this one came out, I guess 2 weeks ago, would have been in last week's New Music Finds, but I didn't get it in time, so now it's in this one here. The brand new Steve Plunkett, Turn Up the Radio 2025 autograph lead singer is Steve Plunkett. And this is a re-recording of the Sign In Please album, which was Autograph's 1984 album that had the song Turn Up the Radio. And so the song itself shot up the charts and became very popular in 1985. So for 40-year anniversary, Steve Plunkett wanted to re-record it. And so the song was written today. What would it have sounded like? And he decided to give it that kind of treatment. When he got done with it, he said, you know, there's a few other interesting songs on the album that I always wanted to do that too. So he did a few more. And next thing you knew, he had done the whole album and decided to release it as such. And that's what we're getting here. So it is the entire Autograph album, Sign In Please, re-recorded, different track listing, and all the songs updated into a modern sound that would be as if the song was written today. And not so much that you can't enjoy it. For anyone who's an Autograph fan, you're still gonna love this. And I think it was updated perfectly. Still has all the characteristics and everything of the original, but yet it sounds new and fresh. So I've really enjoyed listening to this. Because of that it's not just straight re-recorded, but it's also not so different that you don't want to listen to it. I'm buying it because I'm a fan of Autograph and I'm a fan of Steve Plunkett. So of course I want it to sound like that. I don't want it to be entirely night and day different. And yeah, this has been a lot of fun and really enjoyable, far more enjoyable than I thought it would be. A lot of times, you know, you get the remix album or the re-recorded album or the live album where they play something in its entirety, and it's fun for a few listens. It's different than the original, but do you ever go back to it? This, I have to say, I have gone back to a bunch of different times and really enjoyed it. So if it's something you were sitting on the fence about, you were thinking about, if you want to hear your favorite classic Autograph album in a new way, Steve Plunkett, Turn Up the Radio 2025, that is the thing to go and check out. Again, I do recommend that totally. All right, and then the actual big release, the thing I was most excited about for this past Friday, October 3rd, was the brand new Michael Schenker album called Don't Sell Your Soul. This album here really surprised me and became something that I wasn't expecting. It kicked off a whole MSG listening weekend for me because it just hit the right spot, it hit all the right notes, so to speak. I've enjoyed the last few MSG albums, but they've not been wholly consistent all the way through to that very high quality that the early MSG albums and some of the later stuff in the early 90s was. So I've enjoyed, you know, the stuff sporadically. But I have to say, this here is the first album in a long time that really hits all the right markers, everything that I think makes MSG what it is. It's got great vocalists on it. It's got great guitar playing by Michael Schenker. It sounds refreshed and rejuvenated, yet sounds classic at the same time. So all those things really played into it. And it just, like I said, it just bowled me over. Some of those other singers, I mean, we've got Eric Gronwall singing 6 of the songs. Eric Gronwall having come from Heat and then recently Skid Row. He's on here, but he's singing more in a lower register, a register that actually works far better for Michael Schenker Group. So I'm glad there's that, and I'm glad that it's not just bringing in the sounds that he was. I mean, you kind of imagine it'd be like if you brought in Sebastian Bach to sing for Michael Schenker. It just wouldn't quite work. So I was a little hesitant, but after hearing the 6 songs that he's on, I can definitely say he fits perfectly. We also have Michael Voss, who sang with Michael Schenker for Temple of Rock. He's on 2. And we have Robin McAuley from Macaulay Schenker on 2 songs. And then we've got a new guy. Let me see if I can find his name here. Dimitri Lapakis singing on one of the songs. I'm not familiar with him, but I do know that when Eric Gronwall had to step away from the European tour, the person who stepped up and filled in for him, and I don't know if he's still the one that's out on tour with Michael Schenker or not, but Dimitri Lapakis is the one that did that. So his vocals, great too. All in all, 4 awesome vocalists on this that really make this album sound fantastic. It's out on Ear Music. I did find this interesting. I pointed it out in the full-length review. I have done a full review, so if you want to know even more about this, tune in and check that out. But the album cover, this is like a zoomed in version of what is on the digital version on like Apple Music streaming. It's zoomed out. You can see the whole head, part of the body, and then next to it, it says, "Don't Sell Your Soul." But on here, we don't get that. The name of the album, nowhere on this. It's zoomed in, and you just get the MSG logo like that, and you get the back of it like that. But you don't know that it's "Don't Sell Your Soul" until you open it up on the inside there. So I'm not sure why they did that. I haven't looked up to see what the vinyl copy looks like to know if they're still zoomed in or is it zoomed out like the digital version. You would think this would be the digital copy because the icon is so small, and the zoomed out one would be the CD, but it's the other way around. So just in case you're a streamer and you're looking at this going, that doesn't quite look right to me, that's because it is a zoomed in of the album cover. Now, I had ordered some other stuff that hasn't come yet, and one of the main ones was Dirk Schneider and the Old Gang. I had pre-ordered it on Amazon, and it said it would come out, or that I would get it on release day, and then it didn't ship. And the same day or the day after, Amazon started listing it as currently unavailable. Now, they haven't canceled my order on it, but it says currently unavailable. Nobody can order it, and there are copies on there, but they're selling for like 80 and 90 bucks a piece. So I don't know what's going on with it. Did it not get released? Did only a few copies get pressed? Is there no US distribution because of the shipping issues that the US is having right now? What's going on with it? I haven't figured it out. If anyone out there knows as to why Dirk Schneider and the Old Gang suddenly is unavailable in the US, at least through like Amazon. I don't know if it's unavailable through, some other type of, website or whatever, but local record stores couldn't get it in and not available on Amazon. And I haven't heard one way or the other or seen any kind of update as to maybe if the US release date got pushed back. Streaming, it's out there. I'm enjoying it. So I'm really bummed I didn't get it. But that has been going on, and I've been noticing that more and more with new releases that when they come out, they're pushed, or you don't get them for quite some time. I had that happen with the recent reissue of Buckingham Nicks. It was due to come out on release day. It didn't. My order was said to ship in a week. When a week rolled around, it said, sorry, it's going to be another week after that. I canceled it at that point and went and found it in a local store. But I'm just noticing that more and more. I don't know if you guys out there are having any problems as well with things shipping or Amazon or any of that sort of stuff. But I'm hoping that all this eventually gets itself cleared up, because getting new music on release day and having it and enjoying it when it comes out, for me, is such a thing that I rely on and enjoy so much that I don't really want this to start becoming the norm, that I'm not able to get things on release day or very soon thereafter. But, all in all, I guess as long as we get our music in the end of the day, it's all good. So these were the only three things that I got this past week. Oop, that's the backwards one. This past week, but as I said, they were really enjoyable for me. I pulled out and listened to my Gene Loves Jezebel, my Autograph, and the Michael Schenker Group releases. So I ended up having a great time. Didn't really need any more than 3 releases, so that ended up working out to my favor. But I do have a few things on the way. Hopefully they will arrive for next week's episode of New Music Finds, as well as the regular things that I've got on order. And we'll just keep going from there. I'll keep sharing these with you, hopefully turning you on to new things, and or like I said, maybe reminding you about something great that's in your catalog. If you haven't pulled out a Gene Loves Jezebel album in a while, go pull out Discover and give that another listen, because it hits me every time. And that's what this live album was part of when it came out. All right, everyone, take care, have a good one, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.